Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin, and so welcome to our spoiler sections. I'm here once again with Carlos. He hasn't been, it's been almost a year since he hasn't been on the channel. Last time that he has been on was the Endgame review.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys have been asking for him to come back. We've been trying to plan a lot of movies to go see and have him come back. We saw Gemini Man. But he wasn't able to come on to that one.
That was a terrible movie.
Jeez. All right, we're not going to get into that movie. What was another movie that we saw together?
Quite a few of them. There were even a few movies that we went and saw where we didn't know the other person was going, and we were still at the same one.
Oh, yeah.
So we went and saw Star Wars.
Oh, that's true. That one will be coming out right after this one.
Terrible movie. I'm just kidding. I just keep saying terrible movie to everyone.
A lot of movies that we saw were terrible.
Every single one I feel like was pretty bad. We went and saw separately, but within like a few days of each other. What was that movie called? The mystery movie, the one with Daniel Craig.
Mystery movie. The one with Bruce Willis in it?
No, it was Daniel Craig. One second, I got it. There were a few. There were quite a few of them. Sorry, we go see lots of movies. So the one that we went and saw that was okay was Knives Out.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. I haven't seen it.
I thought you saw that movie.
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, it was okay.
I don't like seeing Ryan Johnson's movies anymore, apparently.
Wonder why. Just kidding. Does it have to do with The Last Jedi?
No. Which is actually not a bad film in my opinion. It's just I don't like the casino parts and some of Luke's actions, but everything else could be a little fixed and in order.
I would like the movie if they got rid of every minute of it, and then it would be better. But sorry, besides the point, go ahead.
But yeah, we went and saw Birds of Prey, and I had very low expectations for this film. I was not excited for this film. I did do a trailer reaction for it. It was very glossy, like very bright and dark at the same time, but there were so many colors involved that it kind of hurt your eyes to watch in some moments.
It was a DC film. It was a very Harley Quinn-esque movie.
Actually, Marvel film now, because with that intro at the beginning of every DC movie now. Sooner or later, Disney's going to own
all of them. They'll own everything. So
they're just being prepared. But so, yeah, the acting was fine, I guess.
It depends on the character. Ewan McGregor did a great job. His character was awesome.
Best part.
Easily. Harley Quinn, of course, was okay. Margot Robbie did an excellent job. Premised Joker quite a bit. There was no Joker in it at all.
We saw him in one scene. But we didn't see his face. It was the Joker from Suicide Squad, which they actually say in this movie that is canon. And so when they're not supposed to be canon,
it was not a good movie if you were talking in regards to that. But they did not have. I was hoping Joker would be in it in some capacity.
Which one? Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
Any Joker, just to make the movie seem good. So that didn't happen to me.
What is your favorite Joker?
It depends. Joaquin Phoenix did an excellent job post Heath Ledger, but Heath Ledger is definitely the best Joker. So
a lot of people like Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill's good if you're talking cartoon voice acting. So, but obviously Mark Hamill as an actual Joker figure, unless you were doing like a 60-year-old Joker or something.
He could be something if he was back in his 20s he was probably in his 30s when he did it.
He would have been probably. But yeah, Mark Hamill would have been an excellent Joker voice-wise, great voice actor, but not a good one to portray in a live-action movie. So, but best live-action movie one, Heath Ledger. Not a big fan of Jared Leto at all. He's good if you just use his face and he doesn't laugh or talk or do anything. So, that doesn't say much, so I could do that.
But, so, So we are in spoilers. So what? Like I don't really. Let's start from the beginning. So this movie opens up with a bunch of jump cuts to like one, like we're like with Harley Quinn, then we're with what they call, we're with Black Widow, that which she doesn't use any of her powers at all throughout the whole entire film until the end, when her powers could have been very useful in a lot of scenes.
You mean the canary, the singing canary woman?
Yeah.
Not very good.
Is it? I thought it's called Black. No, did I say Black Widow?
Yeah, you said Black Widow. Spoiler, it's not Black Widow. It would have been better if it was, honestly, when we made the film. Yeah, so the canary, not a good character. Horrible acting. Acting, there you go. She just didn't do anything for me. The crossbow woman.
I can't remember. I never.
Huntress.
Huntress, that's right.
She's the crossbow woman, in my opinion. She was interesting and different.
They really teased her character a lot.
Yeah, I think they tried to make her like really awesome, and I appreciate that they had different characters, I guess, over Harley Quinn. But at the same token, like the movie was about Harley Quinn.
It felt like a Suicide Squad.
The young girl that was in it, that I am drawing a blank on her name because they say it like 3 times throughout the entire film.
All the characters I can't remember is hers and the cops, like name wise.
Oh yeah, the cop was good. She was kind of funny, you know, the stereotypical 1980s, you know, cop. And the young girl that plays, she did a good job.
She does a good job, but they just don't really do anything with them.
They
don't dive into the cop's backstory at all.
No, it's like a very like Deadpool cutscene type movie, but they do a terrible job at it. It jumps all around depending on the scene and the moment, and then at one point they start randomly singing in the middle of like the scene. Very bizarre, very random. So, yeah, very interesting. Not the best in terms of like film structure, but they did a good job with visual effects. I think that as you know, always with any super villain, superhero, anything along those lines, they did, or anti-hero, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think DC is starting to find their way, because they wanted to do a dark series. They really wanted to be dark as possible, but then there was people that liked it and there was people that didn't like it. So they were basically had the Last Jedi like stuff where they split the fan base, and so
I just don't think DC does a good job of hitting the right notes.
I think they're trying to do both now. I think they're trying, which it could be a good thing. Like I wouldn't mind like heartfelt dark movie, like a movie like that, like funny dark movie at all. I mean, it could be a unique thing for the DC, but it's a very confusing movie, especially after like all these like news about none of these movies are going to connect with any of the DC movies leading up to Batman, the new Batman movie that's coming out, which that's
interesting.
But I don't like the actor that's playing Batman.
Robert Pattinson,
yeah.
I'll give him, you know, a shot as anything. So I gave Jared Leto a chance on Joker. So, you know, it's better to give people a chance. But
I mean, yeah.
Basically what they did is they tried to do like a mock Deadpool / Guardians of the Galaxy / you know, semi-serious Wonder Woman. I don't even know. It was very interesting. Definitely a very fascinating film. But one of the things I think they did a really good job of like hitting the note on was really the story or development behind Harley Quinn herself. Kind of like the backstory of her meeting Joker and her finding like she doesn't have to be dating, you know, or with, you know, I think what she called the Prince of Crime. And so that was pretty interesting. The hyena character was great. That was awesome. Highlight of the film.
It was a real hyena, by the way.
Yeah.
Not CGI.
Very interesting. So definitely not. But no, they did a good job of doing that kind of stuff. And the fight scene in the police station, that was awesome. Very well done. So.
I mean, let's see. Like I would have liked a prequel of the Suicide Squad of Harley Quinn, because I think that would have sounded much interesting than the one that we got.
I guess in terms of development. So they mentioned that she's a psychiatrist and she works at Arkham Asylum.
It was like
and
a
then,
cartoony feel.
Yeah, it was kind of cartoony, and I think they really played to, like, if you've played the video games before, if you've played, they kind of played like the structure of this is post her without Joker. And so at the end of the film, it basically talks about how, spoiler alert, by the way, but basically at the end of the film, it talks about how, like, she's now, you know, sold this diamond and created her new business. And that was like the whole premise of the show, was that Harley Quinn can function without Joker. And now she has her own arc story. So they left it open-ended. So if they want to do more Harley Quinn films, which I'd be shocked if they didn't, they have plenty of material and some new characters, the Birds of Prey, which are the three good women, that, you know, get together and are fighting crime. So it's almost like you have anti-heroes that do it by any means necessary to, like, kill or assassinate or, you know, take out these villains. Whereas, like, you know, the stereotypical Batman doesn't kill or doesn't blah, blah, blah. So
that's what I actually like in this movie, is because now we see people actually, well, I don't like seeing people die, but I mean, it shows like there's actual risk in these films. And it's not like, it's because, you know, like the complaints about the Man of Steel movie where, like, this isn't like how Superman would act or anything like that. I mean, Superman is in a tough situation in that film. I think he would act in that way.
Yeah, it depends on I think it just depends on the situation. So there's some kind of morality or, you know, ethical approach. And in this movie, because most of these characters are not, you know, morally or ethically sound. Even the one police officer has no issue just, like, starting to shoot people and stuff, like smack dab in the middle. There's no, you know, the Gotham Police Department is like this bad department that she basically says can be bought off, and once she gets suspended, then she goes off the deep end and just, like, starts attacking.
Where was Gordon? Where was James Gordon? Not Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon.
Yeah. You're talking about. Well, I don't know. I'm not as familiar. Like I said,
this is at this, because according to this movie, this is right after Suicide Squad.
I don't know. That's a great question. There were a lot of characters in it, which I thought would have been premised with, like, cameos. Joker would be obviously a very important one. Okay. So now, in terms of, like, Darkness, Dark Knight, those types of movies were definitely on like a more dark, less visual effect. But like we said, Harley Quinn's such a vibrant character that it wouldn't do any justice to have something along those lines.
I would have liked it. Because I didn't care about any of these characters. Like, if you compare this to the Dark Knight, like you said, what's different about those? Because you actually see these characters go through heartful moments through all the trilogies, and you care about them. You can't even care about these characters in the first movie.
Well, it's premised with likability. They're not likable.
Well, they're not
characters.
likable, but they're coming off like you're supposed to like them.
Oh, for sure. I think that's any film or movie. Like, Kylo Ren is a hard person to like.
I accept Kylo Ren. I like him as a villain until Rise of Skywalker, which we'll get to that in our own video.
So, for sure. But I'm saying that each film has a premise or a likability to each character. Margot Robbie's an excellent actor, so she does a good job of making you not despise her per se, but kind of like, oh, she's gross, or, you know, and that's a good thing, because that plays really well into her character.
A lot of people that's the one thing that people really like from Suicide Squad, and so that's why they brought her back.
# Will Smith. I wish she was in this movie.
Maybe he might be in Suicide Squad too, because they've been starting to release cast members for that movie. You want to talk about, God, I don't know how to say his name. Ewan
McGregor?
He has a weird name, but
it's like blackface or something?
Yeah, Black Mask.
Black Mask, excuse me.
Black Mask.
Lots of names. No, so he does an excellent job of.
I really wanted it. I think the movie would have been actually even better if it was from his perspective.
So that would have been interesting. But then, even then, we get. If you see it from his perspective, he may be more likable.
Yeah.
Whereas because you only see him in instances where he's terrible, so he like murders a family at one point. He makes this woman dance on a table at one point, like for thinking that she's laughing at him, which she's obviously not. And so there's a lot of very not cringeworthy moments, but there's a lot of moments where you hate his character,
Oh, yeah.
and you're just really hoping that he dies a horrible death, which he does. So.
Jesus. You want to talk about his death?
Yeah. So while they're in the booby trap like entertainment park, Harley Quinn goes to open up this cabinet to get all these weapons, and Joker has obviously taken all of them. There's just outlines of it basically. You see it in a bunch of movies. It happened in Fast and Furious. It happened.
It
happened in
Shaw.
Yeah, it happens in quite a few movies. But basically, she opens another. They open another chest, and then there's like grenades and like. I think there's like 2 grenades, like a baseball bat.
There was this weird outfit that the police officer wore.
Oh yeah, it's basically like it's women's clothing that's bulletproof, but it's Harley Quinn clothing, so it's very like.
They really shoved the women like Power Girl theme into this movie, which is kind of expectable. But another thing, they beat up nothing but guys in this movie.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. It was awesome. So. You have like the 120-pound cop beating up like a 300-pound dude. So it's definitely very interesting.
She's the Rock.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. They do a good job of it's kind of like goofy fighting, but they do a good job of like premising the action. But anyway, the young girl that has swallowed the diamond that everybody wants to get a hold of.
You would choke on that thing.
Yeah, it was huge. So I don't know how she did it, but good for her.
Give her a medal.
She, takes her grenade and they run out. She gets taken and Harley Quinn follows her, which she gets slammed into a van. And you would think Harley Quinn would be dead 12 times over. But
she chased down these guys in roller skates.
Yes, that was pretty funny. So she gets pulled by Huntress on her motorcycle. They come up to this car and they're fighting, and the car slams into a statue and the statue falls. And then Black Mask and the young girl get out of the car and are running onto the pier, and Harley Quinn follows them and shoots one of the statues instead of the bad guy, which I thought was funny. That was a pretty good part. And then the young girl goes, I
stole your ring.
Yeah, I stole your ring. And basically it's a grenade pin. So Harley Quinn, it clicks, which I don't know if it would have clicked before the grenade went off in 3 seconds.
I think she pulled that a long time ago.
Yeah, it was very interesting. But because she's a pickpocket, the premise is that she can pull stuff and put stuff in people's pockets. So basically Harley Quinn kicks him off the pier and boom, he blasts into 12,000
You can see his arms and legs, they're very detailed.
Yeah, they were very detailed.
Is this movie rated R? I don't think it is.
It is rated R.
Is it really?
Yeah, because they say the F word more than, I think, twice. Okay. And then they also have very graphic, the hyenas eating this dude's leg.
Oh God.
It was pretty funny. So definitely one of the things. But yeah, no, it was definitely a very interesting film. I don't think that there was anything where I would give it a 8 out of 10. It was probably a 5 out of 10. Maybe a 6.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be nice. It's a 6 out of 10.
I haven't done my solo, not solo, but I haven't done my actual review for you guys yet because we literally just saw it. So I still haven't really decided my rating yet, and so.
It's a 5 or a 6.
But what would you think so you're saying a 5 or 6?
Yeah, I just think the character development was good for Harley Quinn. The other characters was they were just kind of there. Canary goes all psycho. I guess she has powers.
They go more in detail in the TV show for Arrow, which I think the actress for Arrow is a better actress than the one in here.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because that's a TV show, which is for actors that can't really. Well, I don't say that can't really act good. They just don't have that potential yet to act like they do for these big movies. So
it's different.
Yeah,
I mean, it's different. Different actors do different things. But one of the things I thought was interesting in the movie in particular is because, like, in Green Arrow, they have the opportunity to build the characters out over seasons, whereas this they have to build out in like 2 hours. So it was kind of interesting. Huntress was still pretty awesome though.
Yeah, like they don't that's what's the problem with these DC movies. They don't like taking the time. They like to rush things. They're like, all I see is the end game and like movie, and that's why Justice League was terrible because
that was a terrible movie. Aquaman, horrible. The best DC movie is Wonder Woman, and there's no. And I'm not saying
the second one's gonna be bad.
1984, it looks good.
Well, I think it's gonna. I think that's probably. I don't think you can beat the first Wonder Woman, but I think it's gonna be like a little down there.
I mean, yeah, of the new wave of DC.
That
movies.
looks like, because now these movies are starting to look like Thor Ragnarok. That's what's happening here.
But that's like a successful movie, so it would make sense that they want to. But Gal Gadot is very serious in her role.
So that's going to be a little problem.
Yeah.
So like,
Marvel's the more humorous side of, whereas DC, is supposed to be the more serious or more tragic. So they definitely have a lot to work on. But I'm interested to see how the new Batman goes. Yeah. And Wonder Woman will be an interesting.
I'm curious if it is actually going to be canon, because it must be, because they're continuing on. If these were going to be canon, they would have just stopped a long time ago.
Well, it depends.
But I guess more money, whatever. I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a DC movie. Marvel could release a movie where they paint walls, and they probably make billions of dollars. So
just Tony Stark in the afterlife.
Yeah, painting walls. So. No, but it was overall a decently okay movie. It was about as good as I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So, can't complain there. But if you want to see a real movie, you have to go see Dora the Explorer. Fantastic movie. I'm going to plug. No, I'm just kidding. Terrible movie. Don't see that one.
Review and description. I talked about that one.
Otherwise, any other thoughts? What do you think?
No, I think we covered a lot. That was pretty.
Hopefully, we didn't spoil too much of the movie. If not, this was a faster way to watch it.
Review. I think they were.
We just saved you $10. We just did the whole movie.
I didn't put one dime into this movie, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it was not a good movie to see. So I didn't either. I had a free movie ticket.
It was messy as Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker did a great job of making you go, wow, there's lots of starships that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so we're going to get working on that review real soon. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys, there's nothing really good out. We were planning to go see Underwater and, like, The Turning. Don't go see those because I would have regretted it. Because
I had two friends see both of them and they hated both of them.
Yeah.
If you want to see a good movie, you know which one's coming out here. I have a list of which movies are, good and upcoming.
Fast 9.
So no, not Sonic the Hedgehog. That looks not good. Fantasy Island looked interesting.
I was confused by that trailer.
Yeah, it could be interesting. So
I want to see the Chris and Tom movie that has Chris Pratt and Tom Holland in it. Movie.
Yeah, that'll be anything with them in it is normally pretty good. Quiet Place Part 2, Black Widow, James Bond,
The Minions.
That looks good. The Invisible Man looks awesome.
Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, absolutely. What's the one? Woman in the Window? That looked interesting.
You were like, have you seen this trailer? I was like, no.
It looks good.
But it kind of reminded me of the Invisible Man trailer a little bit, because it's like, wait, there's nothing. So, like, because there's like one scene in the trailer where a woman almost got stabbed, and there's nothing there with the floating knife.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It plays on the mind, which those movies are normally very good.
Oh yeah.
So, Invisible Man and Woman in the Window both look excellent.
When does it come out?
I think one comes out February 28th. I think that's Invisible Man, and then the other one comes out in a few weeks after that. So lots of good movies to see.
If you're planning to see a movie this weekend, this one's probably your best bet.
It was okay.
Yeah, it's a turn-off movie. That's what it really is.
Or if you want to save money and see something that was good that I saw a few weeks ago, and I don't want to do any spoiler alerts because it's actually a pretty insanely good movie, is The Gentleman. Excellent movie.
Oh, really?
Very good movie.
That has
Matthew McConaughey.
That's right. Yeah.
Very good movie. And same with Uncut Gems. That was a pretty good movie too.
I was thinking about seeing that. So.
Both of them are excellent movies. Especially if you're going to go see a rated R movie anyway, like this one is, then might as well. I recommend those.
That's probably a better rated R movie than this one. So yeah, we're gonna get started on the Rise of Skywalker review. That's gonna be interesting. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you, Carson, for being part
For
of this
sure,
one.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, we'll see you guys in the next review.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
guys.